Hello and welcome back to another Doctor Who action figure review. In today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the second B&M store exclusive of 2018, that being the 12th Doctor set. This set includes the 12th Doctor as seen from the episode Face the Raven, the first ever figure of Bill Potts from the Series 10 pilot, and Missy from Extremis. Turning to the packaging, the figures come packaged in this window box design, which has clearly taken inspiration from the Collector Series style, featuring the classic series logo in the left hand corner, as well as clearly stating that this is from the 5.5 Collector Series line, and it also states that this is the 12th Doctor's collector figure set. Turning to the side of the packaging, we can clearly see the classic Doctor Who logo with the 12th Doctor and Bill Potts action figure promotional images. Turning to the back of the packaging, it's fairly bland and just showcases the figures that come in the set, Missy, the 12th Doctor and Bill. It would have perhaps been nice if it would have given a brief bio or description of each character. However, seeing as these are only B&M exclusives, I don't expect much from the packaging. Turning to the final side of the packaging, it just showcases the Missy and the 12th Doctor promotional images, as well as stating that it is from the 12th Doctor's collector's set. So overall, that just about wraps it up for the packaging. Let's take a look at the figures themselves. And here we have the figures out of their packaging. Now to start off with, I'm going to be taking a look at the 12th Doctor. And here we have the 12th Doctor from the episode Face the Raven. Now the head and the legs have been taken from the Series 9 figure, whilst the torso and arms have been taken from the Series 8 figure. The paint applications applied to the head sculpt are a lot more sharper than that original Series 9 figure, making it the most accurate representation of Peter Capaldi to date. The hair sculpting is really well done. As you can see, you've got the curls from Peter Capaldi's hair and the grey hair tone over the top, and the subtle use of a black wash really helps to bring out some of the finer details in the hair sculpt. Moving down to the torso section, the red velvet jacket has been painted appropriately with the white shirt underneath. Unfortunately, they haven't yet again included his waistcoat. However, due to tooling costs, I can understand why they have chosen to leave this out. For a more minute detail, they have actually painted the 12th Doctor's ring, as was present throughout the entire of Peter Capaldi's run as the 12th Doctor. Moving down to the lower section of the figure, as you can see, they have actually painted the buckle on his belt. The trousers have been sculpted appropriately, however have no paint application applied, and the boots have a black glossy paint as well as a more grey paint applied around the base of the boot. The back of the boots also feature the tag as seen in Series 9. This is a very nice attention to detail, and as you can see, both of the boots have had a lot of sculpting and detailing. Turning to articulation, the 12th Doctor's head can look side to side, the arms can hinge out and go forwards as well as go backwards. There is a rotation at the bicep, a 90-degree bend. The wrists can swivel, however they are hindered by the cuffs. The waist joint can also swivel left to right. The legs can kick forwards and backwards very slightly. He can also do the splits fairly wide. There is also a rotation at the thigh, a 90-degree bend at the knee, and the boots can pivot from side to side. So overall, for detail and articulation, the 12th Doctor is great, and it's also great to get another 12th Doctor to add to our 12th Doctor collection. Now turning to what is arguably the main reason to pick up this set, we have our first ever figure of Bill Potts in the 5.5 inch collector line. This is based on Bill's appearance from the pilot. I believe that this is when she first meets the Doctor in his study after watching him at his lecture. The head sculpt is fantastic and looks identical to Pearl Mackie. The hair sculpt is really well done, and all the great sculpt work accompanied by the excellent paint work really helped to make the hair look very realistic. Details such as her orange bow have been excellently crafted and really helped to set this figure apart from just a normal generic B&M release. Turning to her clothes, her armless vest has been recreated really nicely. As you can see, you've got a variety of different stripes going all across the jumper, front and back. All the details on this are fairly clean and the lines are not as messy as I originally thought they were going to be. It just shows that character have put a lot of work into this figure, despite of it being a B&M release. Moving down to the lower section of the figure, as you can see, her jeans have been recreated really well. The texture on them and the paint application make them look extremely realistic, as so does the texturing and design of her shoes. They look almost identical to the ones that we saw more predominantly in Bill's introduction video all the way back in 2016. Turning to articulation, the figure can do a full 360 degrees at the head as well as at the arm. Her bicep can also rotate 360 degrees, and she also has a bend at 90 degrees at the elbow. There is waist articulation, however it is hindered. The legs can kick forward and back as well as spread to the sides. There is a 90-degree bend and a full 360-degree rotation at the boot. Overall, this figure is absolutely fantastic. The likeness to Pearl Mackie is astounding. Detail and the articulation is really good, and the set is worth $15.99 just for the Bill figure. Finally, turning to the Missy figure, this is based on Missy's appearance from Extremis. As you can see, it is an amalgam of the two previous previously released Missy's. As you can see, the head sculpt has been recreated and has just had an extra lot of paint applications applied to it, most noticeably the eye makeup on Missy based on her appearance from Series 9. The hair sculpt is still really cool, if not a little bit softer than the original sculpt, but overall it works fairly nicely. Moving down to the torso section, you can clearly see that they have tried to recreate a cravat by using paint applications, as at this point Missy didn't actually have the brooch. I do think they've been fairly successful, seeing as they've only used paint and have completely avoided resculpting, but it does still look fairly nicely. As you can see, you've got the black seams running through the middle as well as the back of the dress, and overall her costume looks fairly faithful to what she wore in Series 10. Turning to articulation, the figure's head can look side to side, the arms can hinge out to the sides as well as rotate 360 degrees. There is a rotation at the bicep which also goes 360, as well as a bend at the elbow which also has a joint which allows it to rotate 360 degrees. There is a 360 degrees rotation at the hand, as well as some limited movement at the waist. Due to the dress, the legs are fairly restricted, so you can't actually pose them at all. So overall, what do I think of this set? I think it's fantastic. You get two really good figures in the form of the 12th Doctor and Bill, and you get a mediocre figure in the form of Missy if you've picked up the previous two versions of her. The Bill Potts figure is fantastic and is essential for completionists, as we can finally complete our new series companions. The 12th Doctor in his red velvet jacket is what fans wanted for ages, albeit not entirely accurate. It is still nice to have a representation of that in figure form. I highly recommend that you track down this set, especially for an RIP of $16.99. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please let me know down in the comment section below, and until my next review, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.